Hi, everybody. You know who this is, and I'm coming to you completely unscripted. And I hope you all are having a wonderful time at your 10-year anniversary. It's hard to believe that so much time has gone by, but I hope that you're all doing very well. I've been here in Singapore for 5 years, and I got the invitation from Mitchell, who says, Brian, we're having this reunion, and we want to have you come in and say a few words at 4:15, which would be 4:15 in the morning, which once again proves that Mitchell is nuts. So the next time when you have your anniversary, maybe in 20 years, Mike, you're responsible for the logistics, not Mitchell. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Mitchell, you're doing a great job, as always. You've always cared, and you've been very selfless. I sent another video that I hope you get a chance to share when a fair amount of students were over in Germany on study abroad, and we had a critique, and then you went through the room and talked about everybody's project. So anyway, what I wanted to mention was that I started teaching at Ohio State in 1999. And so now with this being 2024, I've been at this for a quarter century. And I do have a lot of recollections of this particular class. And forgive me if I don't recall a story from each and every one of you, but I know collectively, this was the class of surprise, mother. And we had a really good time with that. And I still, every now and then, sort of draw on that. I have been, I have been working on a book on sort of my teaching philosophies and some quotes that I've done. About, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks away from finishing this draft. And I've got in here, kind of tucked right here in the corner, you'll have to look when it's published. And it says, surprise, mother. And that is an ode to this particular group. So as I think back, I know that not everybody is there. I want to think about our maybe the young ladies that are in California. So that would be Brittany and Jessica McManus. Maybe Kate is out there. I haven't heard from Kate in some time. But I got a call from, I guess, the CEO of Loom when Brittany was interviewing for that position. And this guy kept me on the phone for a little more than an hour with concerns about hiring Brittany. And I just got to a point. I was like, hey, look, man, hire her or don't hire her. I got to go to the bathroom. I can't give you anything else on Brittany Layton. But I think it worked out. And I talk to people all the time about one of my former students being involved in Loom, because we use that here quite a bit. And again, Kate, I hope you're doing well. And Jessica, of course, in this manuscript, it wouldn't be complete without a brief story of the McManus funnel. I also remember this is a group that went to Taiwan. We did this project with ASUS. And during our trip, I found out that Sunday and I were married. Apparently, when you had some problems with your luggage, and they kept referring to me as your husband. And so congratulations to the two of us. Jacina, you didn't go on that trip. I think you went to Brazil, if I remember. But I enjoyed your visits to my office. And it wasn't for information about design or anything about your classes. It was for you to collect snacks. And that's okay. Not long ago, I was abruptly awakened from a deep sleep. And I just recalled this vision of Emily with this remarkably disgusting thing that she could do with her hand. I marvel at that. Send me a picture the first chance you get. I visited Molly once in Portland, and she taught me how to use Instagram. Thank you very much. Kate, not Kate, I'm sorry, Victoria, I still see you out there doing tattoos. And I have a pact with one of my former students. I have a student that I taught here in Singapore who is now at Ohio State doing her master's degree. And our pact is when she finishes her master's degree and when I retire, we will go together and get our cultured mind, skillful hand tattoos together. Because I know some of you have that. Like, let me think who has that tattoo. Not entirely sure, but let me go to Chris Brown. I still have a book that you gave me for a gift exchange that I have not finished. I think at this point I might not be able to get through it, but I still appreciate it nonetheless. And Kristen, we met in Germany along with Gina. That was the confetti workshop. Am I right about that? And when you got married, I think my daughter Jasmine, who by the way is in Canada studying forestry at Lakehead University, but I remember her asking me, why didn't we get any Kool-Aid or fruit punch at your wedding? I hope everything is still going great with you two. And Gina, I see you on Instagram. You keep doing what you're doing. Mitchell, as always, running the show. And I think some of you, I don't know if Cameron is still doing his videos in the bathroom, but I did one of these things with him in New York, and I talk to Cameron not that often, but every now and then. I hope you're doing well also. But then I still have a story from James, who actually has two names. I can't remember. Was it Patrick? I don't remember. But I tell my students still today this interaction that I had with him, which was to make sure that we check the quality of our work. And we had our sort of group critique, and Paul Nini came in. His project was the first one in the studio, and immediately Paul identifies a typo. And he goes, hey, this is spelled wrong. Actually, this is spelled wrong too. And this is spelled, you know what? What probably happened is you spelled it wrong, and then you copied and pasted it 2 more times, so that's why it's showing up as an error. And as he said this to James, I leaned back so Paul wouldn't see me, and I looked at him and said, so lesson learned, you get somebody to double check your work. All right, so with that, 10 years out, you all are probably hitting your stride. You're all doing great professionally. I hope things are good for you personally. I'm glad we all had a chance to have our interactions at Ohio State University. It is a special place. I think about oftentimes, fate being involved. Fate in the sense that how did myself and Paul Nini and Peter Chan come together as colleagues teaching visual communication? How did you all put together your portfolios to eventually be accepted into the program, and you work very well together? It's a wonderful thing to reflect upon and keep that bond close. I can tell you that the people that I graduated with, it's at least 12 or 13 of them that we're still very, very much in touch with one another on a monthly basis. So stay connected. If you want to hear more about some of my adventures, go and follow me on YouTube. You probably see my YouTube channel of Ishi Hakase. It's my alias, and talking about my little adventures around Southeast Asia. But I've got about 5 more years before I wrap it up. I think you all know that Paul Nini just retired. Who knows with Peter? Peter will probably work another 16, 17 years, knowing him. And if you have a chance to go back to Ohio State, you'll meet some other really dynamic people like Yvette Shen. Oh, and one other thing. I forgot to say something about Barrett. because Liz Sanders has been to Singapore twice in the last 2 years. And she always brings up Barrett, because you know Barrett married Emma. And so that would make Liz Barrett's mother-in-law. And that's crazy. But it's good. And she loves you. All right, so you, again, keep doing what you're doing. Okay, that's it for me, unscripted. If you ever find yourself in Southeast Asia, you come look me up. You would absolutely love it here. Bali is beautiful. Philippines is beautiful. Vietnam is beautiful. Singapore is extremely sophisticated. But one day I'll make my way back and visit you all soon, and that's probably going to be in October for Peter Meggert's exhibition. So if any of you are around, I hope to see you then. Thank you for your patience for this 11-minute ramble. And once again, you all have a great time. Congratulations once again on another milestone. And I look forward to all the great work that you all are going to do in the future.